all the pieces are cut square, okay? And remember, these edges have to be parallel, and that's what the table saw does for us. Now, this workpiece is 3/4 inch thick, 10 inches wide, 79 1/4 long, and it's very important. It's the backbone of the clock. And here you can see I've already made some pocket holes. And what I'm going to do is do 2 more. And this auto adjusts. That's ready to drill right there. The bit is set with the stop. So that's 1 pocket. I can release that, flip it over, tap out the sawdust, and do the mating piece. And I have 5 pockets per side on this. Okay, line it up, make the other pocket. And since this is the backbone, and this will go against the wall, you'll never see these pockets. Okay, so that's done now. So we're ready to start assembling all the other pieces, and we can set this jig aside now because we're through with that. We use 1 1/4 long fine threaded screw square drive on that backboard. You'll see more on that in just a second. Let me release this and set this out of the way since we're through with it. And then over here we had to do 1 glue up. And I'll ease the clamps off here. I just use good yellow alphatic resin wood glue. And the easiest way to get rid of the bead on the squeeze out right here is with a card scraper. You simply let it dry for about half an hour and it will come right off. If you do it any other way, you could contaminate the surface. You never want to use a wet rag. Card scrapers are great for that. So now this is the front glued up panel right here. More on that in a second. Now let me show you, let me unlock the workbench here. The casters lock, and this is a handy thing right here. Look at this. This is beautiful. And that's garnet shellac with a wiped on wax on top once that cures out. And we're using a different pattern for a different effect. Same size though. And we need to build this frame assembly for the dial, which is right here. And you look, oops, no, that's double side. This is the frame assembly. And so what we're doing, that's a 4-inch piece. That's 1.5 inches by 10 long. And these long runners on each side, 7/8 by 1, and they're 15.5 long. And to join all this together, what you do, swap out drivers, and these hex posts that go into these impact drivers are awesome because look at what I can do here. Once I line up all the pieces, and I use the fence as a stop, holding everything flush, oops, lock the table so it doesn't roll on you. You just counter bore using that little step shoulder right there to go in 7/16 of an inch or thereabouts. You can go a little bit deeper than that, but it's important to counter bore, not countersink, and you'll see why later. And once that's done, we can set up the square drive, and I'm going to use those 1.25 inch long screws here on these 1-inch wide workpieces, and I just draw it tight. And those get wood plugs later. So I'll do this all the way around, making sure that I draw these pieces tight. We don't want any glue in this right now because after we get the entire clock assembled, we're going to take it outside and sand these parts, and then we'll finish it outside. And see how that goes? Just like that. Flip it around. And then we can groove it to accept everything to trim out the dial and also put the glass in. I'll get this done, then we'll work on the case.